You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody to Daytona International Speedway, home tonight to the Monsters of Speed Racing League NewGen Cup Series. We are in for a treat. We've got 80 laps broken down into quite a few, couple different stages. Got a 20 lap, couple 20 lap ones, and then a 40 lap stage to the end. This is their first race of this Season 3. The starting grid for this race was set last week. We had qualifying, and then they also held the duels at Daytona. We've got Tyler Robinson on the pole tonight. Ran a 49.826, and Greg Wood will be on the outside with a 49.835. They are just finishing up practice here. Looks like they got a couple minutes left. It looks like right now Blake Howell is on the top of the leaderboard with 46.62.
Hey, Mike, you got me? Hey, sorry to jump in here. We had to make a new session. Somebody jumped in last minute, and
All right.
yeah, I have to make a new
I guess
session.
I will stop the broadcast and.
Yeah, sorry, this guy didn't tell me until
Yeah,
last
I just
minute.
saw it pop up.
Lights are out, you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels slow, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels slow, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels slow, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. The lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember. stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there.
All right, everybody. Looks like we are back. Once again, welcome to Daytona International Speedway, home tonight of the Monsters of Speed Racing League NewGen Cup Series. We're in for a treat, like I said once before. We got 80 laps around this 2.5 mile tri-oval. The front row was set by qualifying last week. They also had the duels last week that set the rest of the field. Tyler Robinson's on the pole with Greg Britt on the outside. Winner of the duels, Mark Parkhurst and Ira Kohlhaas. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the race info. This is round one at Daytona International Speedway. Looks like 75 degrees. I'm Mike Damoni up in the booth. And let's see. Get these. Got one lined up here. All right. We got Tyler Robinson, Greg Wood on the front row. Mark Parkhurst and Ira Kohlhaas behind him. And we've got Angel Santiago and Austin Missler. Row 4, Dak Woods. And Gordon Bazaz-Nelly. Row 5, Blake Howell and George Jewell. Row 6, Jonathan Cogswell and Ryan Douglas. Then we got David Mayo, James McEnany, John McIntyre, James Jones, Wes Fuller, Kevin Gibney Jr., Bill Sleep, Dylan Trader. 21st, Nolan Puckbrand, James Santoyo, Josh Puckbrand. 23rd, Andrew Hurley. 24th, Dylan McDonald, Ricky Gonzalez, and David Masva in 27th. And that is the field. Lights are out and we are ready to go. Tyler Robbins will have control of this restart. Pace car jumps down to the inside. We'll come take a look at the starter stand as they go through the Geico restart zone. Tyler Robinson gets out to a little bit of a head start. Greg Wood down on his inside as they come past the stands for the first time. Ira Kohlholz trying to get to the back bumper. Greg Wood leading that outside line as they're side by side still through the first few. As we go past, get back past 10, it looks like they're kind of come down to the inside and was able to close that up as Greg Wood takes the lead, jumps down to the inside. Here's Ira on the outside. Ira has Austin Missler right behind him. Down on the inside, we got Greg Wood, Tyler Robinson, Mike Parkhurst, and then Angel Santiago behind him. Looks like Ira's trying to get down a little bit to the inside to try that side draft. Angel seems to have a run on Parkhurst for a moment. Looks like Blake Howell jumped down to the inside. He's gonna back out of it and let these guys settle it a little bit. Kohlholz on the outside is able to take the lead with Austin Missler right behind him. Gonna push him to the front as they come back to the start-finish line. Jump down to the inside. It's gonna get to that yellow line. Ira was able to win duel number 2. Got him started on the outside of row 2. Greg Wood jumps to the outside. Is going to try and get a run on Ira. Mark Parkhurst right behind him. Now there's a gap between Ira and it looks like Kevin Gibney Jr. Oh no, Jr.'s on the outside. Kevin Gibney Jr. is up 15 positions, biggest mover of the race so far. Looks like he was able to work his way through that traffic pretty quickly. Greg Woods back out front. Mark Parkhurst in front of him, behind him. As we go to complete lap 4. These front 6 cars are kind of staying in line as Santiago jumps to the outside. Looks like he's going to look for help from, like Blake Howell was behind him, but thought better to jump down to the inside. Now we got Dylan McDonald all over the back bumper of Santiago, giving him a push. Looks like the 98 of Jordan Dozadel got a run, is able to close some ground as well. So as we go to lap 5, let's go back down through the field. I had a field of 27 cars take the green flag here. Greg Wood. Oh, Kevin Gibney Jr., Santiago, and Dylan McDonald all side by side. Santiago is still in the middle. He's got room to jump down to the inside if he wants it. He does. Got a little bit of a gap. As we see Blake Howell make his way to the outside and has that run. He's one of the fastest guys we had in practice. But he got stuck out there all by himself. As everybody on that inside line is just running by him. This is definitely a draft-friendly track. Back up to the front. Got Greg Wood, Dylan McDonald battling it out. Dylan McDonald's right to his back bumper. Santiago's looking to the outside, trying to see if Parkhurst can jump out there with him, but he won't. Back down here to see Kevin Gibney Jr. was able to make some moves through the track. And these behind the leaders here, they're still too wide. We got Wes Fuller on the outside of the row. We see Howell jump down to the inside. Cogswell, Holhoff. You have Nolan Pontybrand and Austin Missler rounding out this lead group of about 12 cars right now. That outside line is able to make it work. Mark Parkhurst and Angel Santiago are making that outside line work with Kevin Gibney Jr. right behind them. As they jump down to the inside. We have Parker, Santiago, and Gibney on jump down to the inside line. Looks like Greg Wood sitting down on the inside. Dylan McDonald, Blake Howell on that outside. Let's look back. As these guys are battling up here for a lead, let's take a look and get some screen time for these other drivers in this field. Austin Missler. Bill Sleep. You got the 08 of David Mayo. 20 of James McEnany, Brian Douglas, and George Jewell. Burton Dazadelli, Josh Pontebrand, and James Santos Santoyo rounds out the top 20. Jump back up to the front here. Markers. Oh, looks like caution is out. Let's see what. Bring out that caution there. We're only through 11 laps. On the pace car here, but we are under caution. Like we have several cars hitting pit lane for the first time. James Santos is in the pits. Hall, Smithler, Cogswell, Jones, Woods, Fuller, Pontebrand, McDonald, all coming to pit road. Right up top. All right. Now let's go back to racing here. Hey, Angel, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, so what was going on there?
Which time?
I don't know. I didn't see anybody crashing. It just came caution. So.
We had a caution of some sort. I think we had a couple people wrecked. I know I saw them in my relative further ahead of us.
Yeah, SDK wasn't registering anything. I'm like, what's going on? So.
Not sure exactly. You're welcome to pull race control in and ask them. You can give an explanation.
Oh, all right.
I did say 98 got the UL.
All right, well, it's like pace car is getting ready to pull off, so I'll let you go back to your group, but we're gonna pull you in and see what's going on. Thanks. All right. The lights are out on the pace car, and we are about to go green again. 6 laps to the end of this stage. When we get to the green flag, so we got Mark Hurst, and Angel Santiago on the front, Gibney Jr. and Wood Jr. In row 2, Nolan Pontebrand, Blake Howell, and Bill Sleep, David Mayo. James McEnany and Ryan Douglas round out the top 10. Pace car is in as we get to the Geico restart zone. Parkhurst is down and away. He got a good jump. See if Santiago jumps down to the inside or if he's going to stay up high with Wood Jr. Two by two as they head down the backstretch. Santiago, Wood Jr. jumped down to the inside in front of Parkhurst and Gibney. That inside lane has been proving dominant as a 3 wide towards the middle. George Jewell got stuck in the middle and is going backward. Still 3 wide. Almost gets into the aid of Ricky Gonzalez. He's able to get out of the middle, and we're back down to just 2 wide racing as Santiago takes the lead. We got Santiago, Wood Jr., and Parkhurst on that inside line. Then on the outside, as Greg Wood jumps up to the outside, going to try and pick up Blake Howell, give him a push. Parkhurst moves up to second. Trying to suck up right to the back bumper of Santiago. We got an outside line, Greg Wood Jr., Blake Howell. And the 62 of Bill Sleep. Followed by the 10 of Austin Missler. As we come to complete lap 17. At lap 20, top 10 get stage points with the stage caution, so we'll probably see some moves up here as Parkhurst gets right to the back bumper. Like, thinks about going high, but Greg Wood is right there holding him down inside. Greg Wood and Blake Howell work that high line. As soon as Greg Wood gets room, he jumps down to the inside. And Greg Wood will lead lap 19. 1 more to go until the stage break. Got Greg Wood Jr., Santiago, Mark Parkhurst, Pontebrand, Gibney Jr., Hurley, Howell, Gonzalez, Sleep, and Kohlhaas, the top 10. As the 13 of Andrew Hurley jumps to the outside, going to try and get another couple points, but there's just nobody up there. So he falls back down into line. Comes back up again in front of Gibney Jr. See if he might be able to get a push. Caution will fly at the end of this lap. Greg Wood and Angel Santiago are up front. Looks like Hurley and Gibney Jr. trying to make that outside line work. So we got, let's go back to Dylan McDonald, Andrew Hurley, and Gibney Jr. all fighting for the final stage points. Greg Wood Jr. will win stage 1 of race 1 in the Monster of the Speed Cup Series. Let's see if we can get him before we go back green. Angel Santiago in second. Mark Parkhurst in third. Nolan Pontbrand in fourth. Ricky Gonzalez up 21 positions. Finished stage 1 in fifth. Dylan McDonald in sixth. Ira Kohlhaas in seventh. Josh Pontbrand in eighth. Andrew Hurley and Wes Fuller round out the top 10. As the pace car comes out to gather the field in. Winner of stage 1, Greg Wood Jr. in the 78 Pulse Graphics Toyota. If we can. Hold him here in a second. After he makes his pit stop, we'll grab Greg and his thoughts on the race so far, and we look forward to it towards the end. Ira Kohlhaas, Jonathan Cogswell, and Austin Missler all pitted on lap 12, and it looks like they're going to stay out. Like Dylan McDonald only took a little bit of fuel on right side. So let's go ahead and get Greg Wood Jr. Hey Greg, you got a copy?
Sure do.
Well, congratulations on winning stage 1. How's the car feel out there?
Feels pretty good. It was a bunch of teamwork. Me, Mark, Angel, Gibney. We were trying to control the race as best as possible, so kind of swapping it back and forth, staying in line, blocking other people's runs. So car feels stable. Of course, side drafting with the latest update is a little sketchy because it sucks the car to you, the one that you're side drafting, so you got to watch for that. But other than that, pretty good.
That's good. Well, any strategy for the rest of the race? I saw a couple guys only take, it's like 2 tires. You're gonna kind of just go caution by caution and see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. We took no tires. I mean, usually tires don't matter here at Daytona. We took none. Being out front, we had to take a little bit more fuel. That's how we got beat on pit road by the 35 and the 5. They probably take less fuel because they were in the draft, but we should still be all right. Definitely didn't want to take 4 tires and be stuck in the mess.
Yeah. Well, I will let you get back to your channel and we're going to talk to you a little bit later.
Alrighty, have a good one.
All right, that was Greg Wood Jr., winner of stage 1. So it looks like they're going to find themselves in a little bit different situation when we get back to green flag racing. As we had 3 cars who pitted on lap 12, who stayed out. And then we've got Dylan McDonald, who didn't have to take as much fuel as Greg and Santiago did. So, pace lights are out on the pace car, and we are about to go racing again. Bill comes through 3 and 4. Make their way towards the tri-oval. Pace car will duck in and we will be back to racing. Pace car jumps in. We are green flag racing. Looks like Kohlhaas got off to a decent start. Cogswell a little low behind him. We got Greg Wood Jr. on the inside. 5 of Wes Fuller. And on the outside you got Dylan McDonald and Angel Santiago. So we'll see if Kohlhaas and Missler can make it work and hold them back as Greg Wood jumps to the outside. Gets just enough room to get up there. He is in front of Cogswell, and McDonald, and Santiago. Down on the inside, we got Missler, Fuller, Kohlhaas. Fuller jumps to the outside, gets in front of Greg Wood. Greg gets right almost to his back bumper. As we do that, let's step away for a minute and Jason's responsible. Right back.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the wrecking!
Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
All right, welcome back as Angel Santiago gets into the wall. It's just a little loose, rubs right up against that wall. Like we have a couple bouncing around out there. As we were talking to Greg Woods Jr., he said that side draft with this new update is just sucking the cars in. Let these guys up front kind of settle it down. Let's give some screen time to some of these guys in the back. Chevy. Got Tyler Robinson, James Santos Santoya, James McEnany, Josh Pointerbrand. We've got Zach Woods. A few guys back here that was running up front a little earlier. Ricky Gonzalez. Back up front, Kohlhaas, winner, duel number 2, is leading the race with Austin Missler behind him. Austin Missler is a season 3 rookie. We've got Kohlhaas leading the race. He's got 2 wins. This is his second year. 13 starts here. Out of his 13 starts, he has 6 top 10, so he is definitely one to look out for. Biggest mover, it looks like right now, is the man sitting in third in that 97 Chevy. Champion wraps, Nolan Pontebrand. Caution is out. Go. 24 of Ryan Douglas. 5 of Wes Fuller. Involved in that crash there. Just gets swinging and goes right across the nose for the 24 of Ryan Douglas. got 34 laps complete. Ira Kohlhaas the leader, Austin Missler in second, Nolan Brian in third, Bill Sleep in fourth, Kevin Gibney Jr. in fifth, James Jones in sixth, David Mayo in seventh, Angel Santiago in eighth, Mark Parkhurst in ninth, Greg Wood Jr. in 10th. Go back green, we'll probably have 4 laps or so. While we got a minute, let's look at some of these paint schemes tonight. Ira Kohlhaas, like the Pepsi, Mountain Dew with Austin Missler, Monty Brand in the wraps there. Graphics. High School, James Jones. About ready to go. Green again as pace lights are out. Kohlhaas on the inside, Missler on the outside of row 1. So as we've seen, the draft is all important. You lose the draft, you get stuck back towards the back. We'll see if Kohlhaas and Missler can continue to work together. They're able to get that nice start, and Missler jumps down behind him, or if they're going to battle it out for the lead for a little bit. Car gets ready to duck in. Like we only have 2 cars that are, well, yeah. 2 cars that are still on pit road as Kohlhaas hits the Geico restart zone, and he is away. Looks like Gibney Jr. backed off of Missler to try and get a run of his own. Oh, no, that was Missler. That was Bill Sleep. Bill Sleep backed off. We got Kohlhaas, Pontybrand on the inside. Missler and Sleep on the outside. Angel Santiago in 4th. Gibney Jr. in 3rd, just in front of him. And you got the 45 of James Jones and Greg Wood Jr. working together on that outside line. Two laps. Until the stage 2 caution. Of Bill Sleep and the 10 of Austin Missler on that outside. As we see that Gregwood Jr. looks like he got a little loose and got into the wall. Looks like Mark Parkhurst jumped in behind him to try and help him as they're 3 wide with James Jones in the middle. Jones was just able to get in front of Pontybrand there to get down to that inside line. As they spread out as they race towards the last lap of the stage. Got Austin Missler, Bill Sleeps all over the track there. I don't know what happened there. Blake Howell down to the inside, avoided the contact. The 27 of Jonathan Cogswell jumps to that inside, or jumps from the inside to the outside behind Angel Santiago as he jumps back down. Gibney Jr.'s to the outside, trying to side draft and get a little more push. Gibney Jr. to the lead. Angel Santiago behind him. Austin Missler behind him. Santiago looks to the inside. 3 wide. Santiago stuck there on the inside. Looks like he's trying to get down to the inside and does. As Howell jumps out, jumps back in. Kohlhaas and Gibney Jr. Pontybrand pushing Kohlhaas towards the lead again. As we're wrecking behind. But Gregwood Jr. got into the wall. Go back and take a look at that. Got loose, got into the wall. As we go back live, Ira Kohlhaas wins stage 2. Gibney Jr. in second. Nolan Pontybrand third. Santiago fourth. Cogswell fifth. Missler 6th, McDonald 7th, Sleep 8th, Robinson 9th, Douglas rounds out the top 10. See if we can get Ira in after he makes his pit stop here. Looks like this is definitely a team strategy, as we heard from Gregwood Jr. in the first. After winning stage 1, we had him and his teammates Santiago and Gibney Jr. trying to control the race there. Looks like we had pretty much the same thing with the SMMR team of Missler and Kohlhaas there. So as everybody makes their pit stops here, we set with 40, a little less than 40 laps to go for the finish of this race. We're watching on Facebook, YouTube. Like, follow, share, subscribe. You know what to do. We can get winner of stage 2 real quick. Ira, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, that was a heck of a race there. Looks like your teammates were trying to control the front row. Was that always the strategy?
We had a little fuel strategy there in the first stage and just see if we could get up there and get some stage points. I don't know how many of us got stage points in stage 1, but we knew we could stay out and make it to the end of stage 2. Fuel-wise, and tires don't matter with these cars here, so we weren't concerned about that. Probably won't be for the rest of the race unless, you know, the rubber meets the wall. But had my teammate behind me there in the 10, and we're kind of riding. And then things fell the way that they fell, and we got this Pepsi Supernova RJS Chevy championship point early on.
Yeah, awesome. Nice running. And what's the strategy for the end? Kind of, since you're staying up front, think you have enough fuel to make it to the end, or we're going to look at another pit stop?
No, there'll be another pit stop. Absolutely will. We can go about 24, 25 laps on a tank. I'd say you'd see the teammates try to get together probably around lap 60-ish. You'll start seeing guys moving out of line or letting people by, different stuff like that to get with the people that they're going to work with towards the end.
All right. Well, good talking with you. Look forward to maybe talking to you at the end of this race. I'll let you go back as the pace car's about ready to pull in.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. That was Ira Kohlhaas there. Winner of stage 2. Looks like he's on the outside of row 1 with, looks like Dylan McDonald was able to save some fuel, or not take as much fuel as everybody else did. Playing some fuel strategy games there. So he will have the button, and once we hit that Geico restart zone, he will be able to make his move. Looks like he's got his teammate with Howell behind him. We got Chris Wheeler saying go PGR into the YouTube chat. Josh Humperand in the Facebook chat. Giving a shout out to his sponsors. Bill McDonald with the button, and he is down and away. Teammate right on his back bumper. We'll see if they can have anything for Kohlhaas on that outside lane. Kohlhaas and Gibney Jr. on the outside. McDonald and Howell on the inside. Like we got the 10 of Austin Missler on that outside line as well. Sounds like he's going to be trying to get down and help his teammate as Gibney Jr. dumps down to the inside. Gets a run on Kohlhaas. We got the teammates of SMMR on that high line, and we got Gibney Jr. and Dylan McDonald on the inside. Looks like Howell was trying to get some side draft there, but not quite enough to hold on. So up front we have Gibney Jr., Dylan McDonald, then we got Nolan Pontebrand behind on that inside line. Outside, Howell and Kohlhaas and Cogswell making it way up the inside with the one of David Montapa pulling his way up there as well. As Gibney Jr. goes around. Don't know what happened to get him out of shape. We will take a look at it here in a minute. But we stay green for now. Blake Howell is up front. guys settle down. Let's go back and see what happened to Gibney Jr. here. Right to his back bumper and just sends him sliding. Able to save it, stay straight. Makes his way back up on the surface and we stay green. So back up front we got Howell and McDonald. And Pontybrand. As we see, Howell looks like he got a little loose and almost got a bad push from McDonald there. McDonald's almost to his back bumper. Cogswell on the outside line, trying to make that work with Kohlhaas and Missler. Like we have a couple guys jumping back and forth from inside to outside, trying to get anything going. As you see, Kohlhaas right on the back bumper of Cogswell there. Like the one of Mazeppa is making his way towards the front, up 23 positions right at the moment. Dylan McDonald also up 23 positions, currently sitting in 2. He is on the back bumper of Howell like crazy, trying to give him every push he can. Back and take a look at some of these guys back here. Take a look at Ryan Douglas. Ryan Douglas involved in that early accident, but is making his way back towards the front. Looks like Angel Santiago is falling back a little ways after running up front most of stage 1 and part of stage 2. Teammate Brakewood Jr. back there as well. But up front, it's still Blake Howell. You can just see how close these guys are getting to each other. Come down through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. Blake Howell, Dylan McDonald, Nolan Poncebrand, David Mazeppa, David Mayo. We got Parkhurst and McCaney battling. Parkhurst and Blomgren side by side, back and forth as they start spreading out once they come out of turn 4. Seen that a few times. Like they got a little loose and trying to not get sucked into the inside or outside line, depending on what line they're on. Oh, Blake Howell looks like he got a little bit out of shape. Got passed by almost everybody there. He's still on that outside line, dropping back. Looks like he'll drop back to the tail end of that outside line and try and jump in, maintain that draft. To the lead goes Dylan McDonald. Nolan Poncebrand behind him. David Monspa, David Mayo, Mark Parkhurst round out the top 5. Parkhurst jumps down to the inside. Falls in behind the aid of David Mayo. Looks like we've got 3 cars that are currently not on the lead lap, getting some repairs in the pits. Cogswell on the outside line. Worth fuel. Like how back to take a look. Let's see what happens. Like they just get stacked up. Start to slow down as they start getting that run. There's just nowhere to go. Like Ryan Douglas was involved in that as well. Yeah. Back under caution here. And it looks like we'll have everybody probably coming to pit road now. As we were talking to Ira after stage number 2. He said it looks like they could get 20 to 22 laps. But we'll see if somebody tries to stretch it as we're sitting at lap 55 right now. Pit stop down and away. We've got 24 positions sitting in P1 right now. Cox for our leader. Hey Dylan, this is Mike in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, tremendous race, up 24 positions from where you started. How's that car and track feeling tonight?
The car feels a little bit loose. I haven't really done a lot of next-gen racing here in a while, so getting ready to come back out here and actually run them. It's going to take some time to get used to, but if you're not careful coming off the corners, it gets a little bit loose. Just kind of manage your tire and fuel as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, it looks like you've had about the same time on pit road. Were you saving a little bit of fuel there on the first part so you'd stay out later, or?
No, actually I've just been going in and just taking fuel only. I still have all 3 sets of my tires. Tire wear isn't really much of a big deal here, especially with it being a plate track.
Yeah.
I've just been not trying to get the car to trip the tires or get loose out of the corner, and just running my race how the track wants to be raced, and not being overzealous towards the end.
Awesome. Well, looks like everybody's probably going to be pretty close on fuel, so we'll see if you can hold on and make it to the finish, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, man.
Hey, what channel were you in, sorry?
Titletown Racing.
That's right.
With Weston.
All right, I'll let you go back to your team, and look forward to talking to you maybe after the race.
Yep.
That was Dylan McDonald. He has all his tires and has only been doing fuel only, so we'll see if that strategy pays off and see if we can make it to the end or have another pit stop. Somebody saves fuel with 23 laps to go. See if somebody can make it all the way to the end. Once again, pace car dug to the inside. Dylan McDonald has the bump button. Jonathan Cogswell on the outside of row 1. Parkhurst Missler, row 2. Mazipa Kohlhaas, row 3. Bill Sleep, Pontebrand, 7th and 8th. James McCanny and Tyler Robinson. We got Mayo, Gibney Jr., Greg Wood, Josh Pontebrand, Gonzalez, and Santoyo. As we are backed to green flag racing here. Bill McDonald got a jump. Parkhurst is able to stay right on his back bumper. Cogswell got a push from Missler. Missler and Kohlhaas are looking to work together again. 3 wide. Looked like Pontebrand was going to be stuck out there in the middle, but he was able to get to that high side. So they're side by side for the lead again. Cogswell, McDonald, Parkhurst, and Missler. We got Mazipa and Kohlhaas behind them. They fan out almost 3 wide. Austin Missler goes to the lead. Cogswell jumped down to the inside. Missler trying to get that side draft. His teammate Kohlhaas right behind him. Gibney Jr. is making his way back to the front after spinning earlier. Two by two, all the way back to at least 10th or 11th. Kohlhaas right to Missler's back bumper. McDonald pushing Cogswell. As they fan out 3 wide, Gibney goes to the middle. Parkhurst down on the inside. Almost 4 wide. They're able to straighten it out and go back to 2 by 2. As the aid of Ricky Gonzalez gets pushed back a little ways. As they settle down up front. We've got Cogswell, McDonald, Parkhurst, Missler, Gibney Jr., Mazipa. Then on the outside, we got James Santos and Toyo trying to make that work. Needs to get some help from Kohlhaas and McCaney and Sleep. While we have a minute and got 20 laps to go, let's jump on with our leader, Jonathan Cogswell here. Take a ride around the track. That was the view from Jonathan Cogswell. Oh! Missler goes almost around, was able to get back on the track. 3 wide as they let him almost get back up on the racing surface. As you can see, these cars, you just get a little bit of bump and there's not much you can do, but these drivers are able to save it and stay going straight. See McDonald right to the back bumper of Cogswell. See that outside lane trying to form up with James Santoyo. Doesn't look like they can get enough to keep going. Kevin Gibney Jr. and the forward Mark Parker. All three of them are trying to make that outside line work, but nose to tail on the inside line is Cogswell, McDonald, Mazepin, Pontebrand. Cogswell out there leading the race as they're side by side from 6th back. Kevin Gibney Jr. has had one of the fastest cars on the racetrack tonight. But just has had a couple incidents of bad luck. We'll see if they can make this outside line work. With Parker, Gibney, Santos, Greg Wood Jr. Doesn't look like they can quite get lined up enough to get that run. Cogswell and McDonald are nose to tail. McDonald backs off just a little bit as they come to the corner and they get right back on his back bumper and they hit that straightaway. Mazepin behind him. Pontebrand behind Mazepin. And Ricky Gonzalez is moving his way up there as well. Take a look here at Ricky Gonzalez. Cogswell just ran a 46.42, but the fastest lap of the race actually belongs to Wes Fuller here. Wes Fuller ran a 45.74, but had bad luck and got spun around. He's still on the move, still getting some points and getting some laps around. As Mazepin goes around right into Pontebrand, and caution is out. Let's go back and take a look at that. You see, he just gets a little bit of a run. Better look at that. Jumps to the outside, gets spun around on coming out of turn 4. Nothing he could do. Just got a little loose, and around it went. definitely see who's going to stay out and who's going to pit here. With only 12 laps to go. That are gonna hit, but looks like most of them think they have enough fuel to make it to the end, especially with these caution laps. Let's see if we can get talk to them. Hey Jonathan, this is Mike. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
No, not too bad. Hey, leading the race with 12 laps to go. How's that car driving tonight?
It's feeling good. 35 behind me has been pushing me great. I hope he stays back there.
Yeah, definitely at this track, you definitely need fuel and a good drafting partner.
But as a defending champion, I'm off to a great start.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like you're up 10 positions from where you started, so have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race?
Yep, got plenty of fuel. We're good to go.
All right. Well, I look forward to these last few laps and maybe talking to you at the end.
With a little help, hopefully I'll get there.
All right, let's go back to your team. Yeah, that was Jonathan Cogswell, defending champ, leading the race here. About 10 when we get to green flag here. See how this is going to finish with the way this is racing. Draft partners are everything. How long do you sit back and push your partner to the finish? Or do you jump out and try and go for the win? Shootout to the finish. Like McDonald jumped to the outside. Guys, Cogswell, McDonald, row 1. Gonzalez, Parker, row 2. Gibney Jr. and Robinson. And we are back green. 10 laps to go. Jonathan Cogswell got a great jump. Jumped right out in front of Dylan McDonald. McDonald jumps down to the inside, is going to push in. These two have worked well together for the last 15 or so laps, so we'll see if it continues to be that way. Outside line. Oh, and we are wrecking. Austin Mitzler, Bill Sleep, Zach Woods. Got a run, got right back to his back bumper. Loose coming out of 2. Oh, Greg Wood is involved as well there. Back up here. Like Greg Wood gets right to his back bumper, the 23. But Tyler Robinson, they're all floating around. 23 comes down and just barely clips. Brown goes Kohlhaas, Jones, Toyo. So that will definitely restack the field here. Quick little rundown on the go. Jonathan Cogswell. Dylan McDonald. Ricky Gonzalez. Gibney Jr. Mark Parkhurst. Greg Wood. Austin Missler. Angel Santiago. Josh Pontebrand. And the champion Raps. David Mayo. Zach Woods with the Christian iRacers. Nolan Potbrand. Dylan Trader. Blake Howell, Red Duck Comics. W with David Mutzpah. James McCanney. Ryan Douglas. Got Bill Sleep. And a few others are on pit road. So we restack them. We will have probably a 5 lap shootout. Everybody should have enough fuel to make it. Few on pit road that were involved in that accident. We'll see if Cogswell is able to get that jump he had before and jump up in front of McDonald, or if McDonald and Gibney can make it work. Lights are out on the pace car and we are lined back up. We got Cogswell, McDonald, Gibney Jr. and Gonzalez, Gregwood Jr., Mark Parkhurst, Angel Santiago, Austin Missler, David Mayo, Josh Poncebrand. Top 10. Cogswell and McDonald work their way to the finish. We've got Gibney and Gregwood Jr. on that outside line, teammates right behind each other. Cogswell goes to the Geico restart jump, gets a great jump out again. This time Ricky Gonzalez stays right with Dylan McDonald. Cogswell jumps up, tries to bring McDonald down to him, and he does. McDonald jumps right behind him. Gibney Jr. and Greg Wood Jr. on the outside. Santiago behind them. 3 teammates looking to work their way to the front. And Parkhurst isn't too far behind as well. We'll see if the 4 of Parkhurst can get up there and maybe drag his teammates towards the front. The 8 of Ricky Gonzalez is just a little ways back behind McDonald as the 4 teammates hook up. And Parkhurst, Gibney Jr., Wood Jr., and Santiago. See if they can push their way to the front with 5 laps to go. Cogswell and McDonald are working well together. Gonzalez is trying to get to the back bumper of McDonald to help put. Gibney Jr. is all over the back bumper of Parkhurst. To go. Cogswell and McDonald are holding their own as the teammates can't seem to get lined up and get pushed, lined up enough to get the push to the front. As the second line of 4 cars joins in now. Ricky Gonzalez, Josh Pontebrand, Nolan Pontebrand, and Austin Missler. Are able to get in line and push towards the front. Angel Santiago jumps down, gets in that middle lane, tries to get some side draft to get pushing towards the front. But up front still. Jonathan Cogswell, Dylan McDonald. Next time by. Only 2 to go. That outside line is working. Mark Parkhurst went to the lead. But the inside line's battling back. Cogswell is in front. Oh, looks like it might have been a little bad push, as he is all over the place. Parkhurst takes the lead. Parkhurst, Gibney Jr., Greg Wood Jr., and Santiago, all 4 teammates, side by side as Jonathan Cogswell crashes. Kevin Gibney Jr. takes the lead, getting a little rough push there as they weren't lined up quite right. As Santiago jumps out and saves his car. We got the 3 teammates, Gibney Jr., Parkhurst, and Greg Wood Jr. Final lap. See if the teammates stay together and just push it to the end. As Dylan McDonald closes in, looks like they might spread out 3 wide and just block the whole track. Dylan McDonald makes his way up to 3rd. Gets to the back bumper of Parkhurst. As they're coming to the tri-oval, McDonald gets out of shape, comes back into the track, right into Pontebrand, and they are wrecking. Gibney Jr. looks like he might have won it over Parkhurst. As they were wrecking behind him, we'll have to go back and watch that. Back here and take a look at Cogswell real quick. 3 wide, just gets bumped off and into that inside wall. Tough break for defending champion Jonathan Cogswell. Then let's go and take a look at this other crash here. As they're coming in, Greg Wood Jr. jumps towards the back. Austin Missler gets a good run. Mark Parkhurst, but McDonald goes off track, back up into the track. Takes out Pontybrand. McDonald. Everybody was wrecking there. Kevin Gibney Jr. wins the race. Mark Parkhurst in second, and like Greg Wood Jr. They're scoring in third. See if we can talk to these guys here. Hey Greg, you got a copy?
Sure do.
Man, what a crazy race there.
It was freaking nuts. That finish, I mean, I don't even know it's legal, but going through the grass, I still came third. I'm happy.
Yeah, everybody was going everywhere that time. It's like they got a little loose. Maybe tires might have been a little help there at the end, but tremendous race, tremendous finish. Looks like you guys were kind of sitting back there, but we're able to team up and come home 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it sucks for Angel that he got kind of screwed out of the 1, 2, 3, 4. But I mean, we did all we could. We were pushing, and then the 35 super aggressive, and he actually ended up getting shoved out. So it was either try to take it 3 wide or just push Gibney. So I decided to push Gibney and came home third.
Oh, congrats on the finish. Anybody you want to thank on that car?
First I want to shout out to lovely wife for letting me do this and not killing me while I'm yelling at the screen. We run and own Pulse Graphics. Anything you need for iRacing, paints, and actually real life. So you need stickers, decals, vehicle wraps, signs, banners, any of that stuff. Hit us up on Facebook or pulsegraphics.co. MDI TV, James Batzer, Within the Sim, Podcast. Check them out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
All right. Thanks again, Greg. Congratulations on your third place finish, and look forward to maybe talking to you again next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's get Mark up here. Mark, mic up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, awesome finish. Crazy finish. But that's the way these races usually go.
Yeah, I've never been on the losing end of the photo finish before. I really wanted that. Thought I had it there at the end. Had a big run.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were kind of back a little ways, and then the four teammates there were able to get that run and make that outside work. Looked like you were going right to the front and we're gonna take home the victory, and then all hell kind of broke loose.
Yeah, we were all working together there on the closing laps, and I got a little bit of a big shot from Gibney there, which got me a little sideways, and so I tucked back in behind him and had the run coming off of 4, but chaos unfolded, and wow. I don't know what to say. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, congrats on the second place finish, 1, 2, 3 for the team, and anybody you want to thank on that car?
Yeah, I got to thank Goose Graphics for designing the car. John Gutekunst, hit him up on Facebook under Goose Graphics. Thank our sponsors, Pro Cup Racing Experience, Fort Worth Screen Printing, iRacing League Calculator, Oot Renovations, Woodard Automotive, and Turo Tech. And yeah, I gotta thank my mom for watching, and thank my teammates at PGR I worked with tonight, and they were a big help, and we practiced a lot before this race to learn how it all worked, and we ended up getting a 1, 2, 3 out of it, so I'm happy.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you go celebrate that, and look forward to maybe talking to you again next week.
I hope so.
All right, let's get the race winner here. Kevin Gibney Jr., you got a copy?
Loud and clear.
All right. Well, congrats on the win. Awesome race. Awesome crazy finish as usual at Daytona.
Yeah, that was definitely a hell of a finish. I mean, I don't know what Greg was thinking, but he shoved me right to the moon, and it really worked out in the end. I can't really be too mad at him. Him and I have been racing for a long time, and I think him and I clicked nonchalantly and got us a 1-3 finish, and I can't think we can be too mad at that.
Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3 for the Pulse Graphics guys that you guys were working together. So, looked like you guys were kind of sitting back there for a few laps, and then before you got together and were able to make that run, I was kind of wondering who's gonna jump out and try and take the lead there, but you and Mark coming to the checkers photo finish. Crazy win.
Definitely is a crazy win. I've been racing with Mark for a while too, and he's always been a good sport. And that finish, I can't be too mad about it at all. It's just speechless how awesome that one was. I can't really say too much on it. It was speechless.
Well, awesome, and congratulations on winning round 1. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank anyone who watched my race tonight. I know my mom usually watches, and my family. Big shout out to them. Sewer Bros, based in the North Shore in Massachusetts. If you ever need your drains cleaned, call them up for sure. Greg himself making this awesome paint scheme at Pulse Graphics. Always makes a good car, never makes a bad car at all. And Blackwater Suds, use code DEEPRACING if you want to save some bit of money on some fresh handmade soap. That smells great.
Awesome. Well, congrats again on the win. Forward to maybe talking to you again next week and the rest of the season.
For sure, man. Thank you.
Yep. All right. That was the 1, 2, 3 finish there of Kevin Gibney, Mark Parkhurst, and Greg Wood. Let's take a look here at the race results. Kevin Gibney Jr. wins the round 1 at Daytona, the Monster of Speed Racing League NewGen Cup Series. Mark Parkhurst in second, Greg Wood Jr. third, Ricky Gonzalez and Austin Missler round out the top 5. Nolan Pontebrand, Josh Pontebrand, 6 and 7. Dylan McDonald, Hard Luck 8th. Zach Woods and George Jewell round out the top 10. Sleep Mazepa, 11th, 12th. Hal Trader and McKinney, 15th. Round out the top 15. Angel Santiago was up towards the front, got pushed out of the way, and winds up another Hard Luck, 16th. Ryan Douglas and Ira Bullhouse finish 18th. Tyler Robinson, the pole setter. Jonathan Cogswell, rough trip. Got leading most of the last section and just couldn't make it. Dick after running into the wall. David Mayo, 21st. Wes Fuller, involved in a late race accident as well. James Santoyo. James Jones. Jordan Zawdelli, Andrew Hurley, and James McIntyre. Once again, thank you all for joining. Facebook, YouTube, like, share, subscribe, follow. You know where all your racing action is 7 days a week. ESBN, SRM on Facebook. One heck of a race. Congrats again to Kevin Gibney Jr. And I will see you all next week. Same time, same place as the NewGen Cup Series heads to Michigan. Once again, this is Mike Timoni. Have a good night.